Welcome to Moonlight Madness. Today we're doing readings for Earth signs on our full moon in Libra. Libra's a moon where we're balancing our masculine and our feminine qualities. We are signing contracts. We are using our discernment. New job offers, new lease, signing of the new. Now we've got cards in. We've got sword cards because that's talking about waxing the moon. So it's the waxing means the moon we just had. And then the wands is the full moon, so we've got two cards representing the moon, which is kind of all the readings I've done today. So the first card is the King of Winter. This is all about someone who's a public speaker, someone who gets up and makes speeches or does something like this, where they're using their voice to get across and mentor for people and teach them how to do what I do. Get advice from someone professional and objective. Public speaking, unemotional relationships. Saying that you need to be fair-minded. He's got his owl. His owl represents him being the wise person. He'd rather be surrounded by books and knowledge than people sometimes. He likes his own company. He likes to wander and process things in his own way because he finds it hard to operate in society. I'm just going to move this candle because I think it's going to have to be. He finds it hard to operate in society. Because he overthinks everything, so that's hard too. Eight of Cups, this is in 8 months' time. You're looking at moving, making major life changes, either from a job or a place or people. You may be thinking that lesson was learned. We're here to learn lessons, and sometimes they're not forever. It's like when you have children, they're not yours forever. You have to realise that they're on their own. They're on their own, and they have to go out and make their life theirs. They can't hang around for you as much as you want to keep them close. I learned this very early, maybe 6 years ago, when they moved out by themselves. It took me a long time to process that. And then there was also them going overseas, and I found that really hard. I couldn't control the outcome. I couldn't protect them from what went wrong. So we've got that. And it's saying to, in the last past, it's talking about Hierophant, which is to do with doing the right things, traditional versus new approaches to see which works for you. You may have a traditional background or a traditional ethnicity on half of you does, and you could be biracial, and then you've also got the Australian way and the democracy and the different ways of looking at life. And that can be hard to try and figure out which way to go, whether to do traditional or non-traditional, because you may have been growing up in a household that was non-traditional, and it's hard to marry the two. I've tried and it didn't work. The balance, this is the recent past, you've got a Libra around you who is trying to figure out what way to approach life, whether it do a masculine approach or a feminine approach, and you've got to combine the both, and everyone has male and female energies. You need to take everyone's input into consideration, merge viewpoints to create a better solution. Take your time, there's no need to rush. So it's the same. If you were signing a contract for a job in the recent past or a home to move to in the recent past, you have to take your time and think about what works better for you. Eight of Wands is activity, stressful, having a lot of things to do all at once. Successful multitasking, sudden events or changes. It's talking about having 8 swords. It can also mean love. So you could have the 8 arrows of love flying away, or you could be using an aeroplane, the flight. The 8 wands are flying in the original tarot deck. These are dandelions, but it's all going one directional. So in 8 days' time, you may either book a flight to go somewhere, or be looking at booking flights to go on a holiday somewhere hot, because maybe the flights are cheaper now before if you get in now. The Two of Cups is falling in love or making a serious commitment to someone. Forgiveness and the resolution of a problem. Don't give up. Your relationship can be healed. It's the Two of Cups. this is in the future, you may decide to get involved. That's in 2 months' time. I've got this in the water signs reading too. 2 months' time, you may fall in love with someone new or get engaged to someone that you already currently are with and take it to the next level. It says you may have had arguments recently because you had to figure out where you stood in the relationship, but it can be healed. You just have to try and take each other's viewpoint into balance. You might look at life differently to them. They may have grown up in an Aussie household. You grew up in a half Aussie, half different culture household, biracial. That can cause a lot of friction. And then you've got, this is how you are operating. Even though you're operating to the earth signs, you're acting as air. You may be acting right now as the air sign. Very inquisitive, can be sharp-tongued. Be careful what you say to people. You can come across really rude, very arrogant, and cutting. So you need to pull back on that. If you're mean and toxic, people are going to take that and not like it. Yeah, you may speak the truth, but try to do it with kindness. It can be really cold. Sometimes you can be really cold how you come off. You need to be thinking about emotionally, I feel this way, or when you do this, I feel like this. It says try not to be too possessive as well. I think you have, because being Taurus, they're very possessive. I'm getting Taurus energy here. Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo energy. Reading for Earth. Try not to be so controlling is the word I was trying to find. You may be having lots of nightmares recently, waking up in the middle of the night and seeing things, focusing on worst case scenarios, allowing worry to grow out of proportion to the problem. Yeah, she can sleep, but the doves are there to give her peace, but she's looking out at the moon and fearful of the worst case scenario. The Nine of Swords, and that's coming up because we're in full moon, in the next 9 weeks. So that's what sort of fear is surrounding you in the next 9 weeks. Who you are also hopeful for, your hopes and fears, is you hope for a good outcome for a Princess of Cups, which is a water sign. So he or she or they is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. They may be an Aquarian, but they have the water in their chart. They are very emotional. They are very compassionate, and they'll listen to your tears and comfort you in your darkest hours. They're a compassionate person. They may have a little garden they like to sit at out the back, and I dreamt about a garden 3 nights ago. I was wandering in the garden with all these poppies and flowers and beautiful colours, and it was with my mum, because my mum loves she loves the garden. She's got a green thumb, and I don't, but I love flowers, and she was out there showing me all the flowers. So we're walking amongst the flowers, and I can smell them at night time. I walk home when I go for a big walk, I can smell all the spring flowers, and it's the most beautiful aroma. And I keep thinking, this is when Miguel was born, my first son. It's the magical time. Spring is magical. It's when you meet people. You want to look better. You start to eat healthy foods, because we just came out of Virgo. You want to attract new love. You want to change. You're coming out of a deep sleep. Winter to me is like hibernating. It's becoming you go into hermit mode, and you don't want to come out. It was like when we had COVID. Everyone went into hermit mode. We ate comfortable food, comfort food like potatoes and mashed potatoes. And when you're sick, you only want simple foods. I've been sick recently. It's taken me 6 weeks to get over it. And all I craved was mashed vegetables, mashed potato, very simple, healthy foods, because I'd been really ill and I just didn't have an appetite. But if I could smell, because I lost my sense of smell, which is hard. When you can't smell, you can't taste, you can't do a lot of things. So I started to put garlic in everything, or fry up bread with garlic, so I could smell the aroma and get my appetite back to where it should have been, because I was fearful. I was fearful. My sons were overseas, and I was worried about the riots and all the unsettled situations overseas. I didn't know if they were safe or not, because they are half South American, half Australian. I said, just tell them that you're from Latin, and then they'll leave you alone. Because they did fines. They got in a couple of the countries. One of my sons said they just looked at my girlfriend like she was nothing, like she wasn't even there, she didn't exist. Like they were really rude to her, and it's a cultural thing because I was married to a person whose family that was like that, and it's cultural because they don't accept outsiders. It's hard for them to accept anyone that's not them or their belief system. So you've got to remember you're a country in a country, so to speak, and that's difficult. That's a hard audience. If you're a stand-up comedian, that's a tough audience. So yeah, we've got the cups and the swords this week. So the next 9 weeks, you're going to be having nightmares and panic attacks. And when you're entering anything new, you're scared of failure. You're scared of screwing up because it's a new environment. You jump from one pond into another pond. As the old saying, you can be a big fish in a little pond, or a little fish in a big pond, and that can be very daunting and overwhelming. But if you're saying success and victory, tick parade, everyone's applauding your success and how far you've come. She's on the horse, and they're all wishing her well. She's riding out in the public like a float. You go and watch a parade. Smart choices that bring reward, success, and public recognition for all the things you've gone through. And in the next 6 days, people are going to congratulate you on all your efforts thus far. So that's a good read for Earth signs. So you've come out of a dark night of the soul. Some of you have had to make decisions based on what was best for the family, but also what was best for you. And you have to continue to do that because you've got to remember when you're making decisions for other people, you have to be compassionate. Same here, you have to be compassionate making decisions for others because they can't make decisions for themselves. So you have to kind of find your voice and their voice in the mix. You can't make choices for them. You've got to give them a choice of what they want to do. Don't control the outcome. It's not yours to control. You just get to be advocate. You get to promote and advocate for what they need. And that's all I have for you today.